Jerry Sandusky, the man at the heart of the Penn State sex abuse debacle, going on camera for his first extensive interview. He spoke at length to the New York Times, and the reporters there videotaped the whole thing.
Okay, these allegations are false. I didn't do those things. I don't know what else to say.
For the first time, Jerry Sandusky answering the tough questions on camera. Once the legendary head coach Joe Paterno was told about the allegations against his former defensive coach, what did he say to Sandusky about it?
I don't know that he didn't know. I know that he never said anything to me. I know that.
What did Sandusky say when he was first confronted by a Penn State official about that incident where young assistant coach Mike McQueary claimed to have seen him raping a boy in the team showers?
Yeah, I told him that it didn't happen, and there wasn't, in my mind, there wasn't inappropriate behavior.
And remember Sandusky's infamous answer to this question?
Are you sexually attracted to young boys, to underage boys?
Am I sexually attracted to underage boys? Sexually attracted? No, I enjoy young people.
Sandusky now says this.
I'm sitting there saying, well, what in the world is this question? What is it? Am I going to be, if I say, no, I'm not attracted to boys, that's not the truth, because I'm attracted to young people, boys, girls.
Yeah, but not sexually. You're attracted because you enjoy spending time.
Right.
Most likely Sandusky's lawyer shouting in the background.
I enjoy, that's what I was trying to say. I enjoy spending time with young people. I enjoy spending time with people.
Throughout the interview, Sandusky defends his decades of work with children, including the showering, sharing beds, and blowing on boys' stomachs. And Sandusky seems distraught about what has now happened to his life.
I miss coaching. I miss second mile. I miss second mile kids. I miss interrelationships with all kinds of people. I miss my own grandkids. I miss. I don't miss my dog. So I miss. Good grief.
So how is this interview going to play in both the court of public opinion and also in a court of law? Let's go to ESPN legal analyst Roger Cossack. Roger, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. I think the question a lot of people are asking this morning is, why is Jerry Sandusky granting these interviews, and why is his lawyer allowing it to happen? Is this helpful for him at all?
When I first saw the first interview, and then this morning, the first thing that comes to my mind is, why would you do something like this? The first rule of a criminal defense lawyer is you never let your client speak to the police or to the press, and the reason for that is because anything he says can be used against him in a court of law, and even if Sandusky would choose at a trial never to testify, these statements can be used and introduced to the jury, and he has made some admissions that can come back to haunt him. The notion that he was with these boys, that he was with in the shower with the boys, that perhaps he blew on their stomach, perhaps they were in his hotel room. Those are all the kinds of things that the prosecution has to prove, and he's now admitted that they happened, and it becomes a shorter leap of faith, I think, for the jury to then take that next step of, well, if he was doing all of those things, perhaps he was doing the things he's accused of.
Now, in his defense, his argument is, I admit those things happened, but they're being taken out of context and twisted and put in a sinister light. Is it a viable defense, given the number of victims who have come forward, to say it was all a big misunderstanding?
Well, it's a viable defense. I mean, look, it's clear now that what this case has come down to is going to be a he said versus what the young boys say, and we can only assume that the grand jury heard testimony from the accusers who said that he did a lot more than what he's admitting. Now, what kind of corroboration do you have? Well, he's now given them some kind of corroboration in that he's now said, okay, I was alone with them, and I was alone with them in what some people would consider to be inappropriate settings. But at the end of the day, I mean, this is going to be can the prosecution build their case beyond a reasonable doubt? There's always this sort of uncomfortableness about cases like this because the accusations are so horrible, they're the worst you can think of, that you say to yourself, gee, is this a kindly old man who was trying to do the right thing and was just kidding around with kids and doesn't quite get what he's not supposed to do, or is this a monster? And I think what they're trying to do, obviously, here is to paint him and say, look at him. This isn't the monster that you think it is. It's a risky proposition.
Unclear whether it worked. But Roger, in the remaining few seconds we have, I just want to quickly ask you about Joe Paterno. I think one of the headlines out of this is him saying that Joe Paterno, who had known him for years, didn't say anything to him about these allegations that we now know Paterno knew something about. How damaging is that for Joe Paterno, not only reputationally, but also if there's a civil lawsuit filed?
Well, it becomes, the whole point of this is that the civil lawsuit, at least, is that Paterno, Penn State, and everybody that was involved had knowledge and should have done something to stop this, should have kept this guy off the school ground, should have kept him away from the team, all of those kinds of things. So it does become damaging, I think.
Roger Cossack, the ESPN legal analyst, we very much appreciate you coming in this morning on short notice. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.